The room was too quiet, too white, too still. 14-year-old Lily sat on the edge of the examination bed, her fingers digging into the thin paper sheet beneath her. She hadn't looked at her father once since they walked in. Not once. Her dad stood near the window, pretending to scroll through his phone, but he wasn't reading anything. He kept glancing at her reflection in the glass. She was pale, sweating, and holding her stomach like she was afraid something inside might move. Dad, gentle, concerned. "Sweetheart, you sure it's just cramps?" No response. Lily's eyes stayed fixed on the floor. The doctor stepped in, calm and professional. "All right, Lily, we're just going to take a quick look. This won't hurt." The lights dim slightly. The ultrasound machine hums to life. A small squeeze bottle clicks. Clear gel spreads across her abdomen. Lily flinches. Her father notices. "Hey, it's okay. I'm right here." But she still doesn't look at him. The probe touches her stomach. The monitor flickers. Black and gray shadows dance across the screen. The doctor's expression is neutral at first. Then, a pause. Her hand stops moving. She leans closer to the monitor. The machine lets out an unusual, uneven beep. Once. Twice. The room feels smaller. The nurse shifts nervously. The doctor's face slowly drains of color. Her jaw tightens. She adjusts the probe, zooms in. Silence. Lily grips the edge of the bed. Her father takes a step forward. "Doctor? What is it?" The doctor swallows, whispers, barely audible. This shouldn't be possible." The beeping grows louder. Lily finally looks up, and for the first time, she looks terrified. Before the clinic, before the ultrasound, before the doctor's face went pale, there was just a father and his daughter. 13-year-old Lily Harper wasn't always this quiet. She used to fill every room with noise. She was the kind of girl who laughed too loud at her own jokes, who danced in the kitchen while doing homework, who left sticky notes on the fridge that said, "You're the best dad ever." Her teachers called her brilliant, curious, kind. And her father? He was her hero. Mark Harper wasn't perfect. He was strict, old school, protective to a fault. After Lily's mother passed away years ago, it had always just been the two of them. He worked long hours, double shifts sometimes, trying to give her stability. He made rules. He checked homework. He worried constantly. But he loved her, in his own structured, sometimes awkward way. And then, about 2 months ago, something shifted. At first, it was small. Lily stopped waiting by the door when he came home. She stopped talking during dinner. Her laughter disappeared. Mark thought it was just teenage mood swings. 13, he told himself. Attitude comes with the age. But then it got worse. Whenever he walked into a room, she'd tense up, physically, like a sudden chill ran through her. Sometimes she'd even flinch, just slightly. But he noticed. She stopped sitting next to him on the couch, stopped hugging him goodnight, started locking her bedroom door. Then came the stomach pain. At first, she said it was nothing, just cramps. But it wasn't once. It was every week, then every day. She'd press her hand against her abdomen like she was hiding something. At school, she visited the nurse 3 times in 1 month. She stopped eating full meals, said she felt sick. But every time Mark asked what was wrong, she shut down. Mark, concerned, frustrated. "Lily, talk to me. Did something happen at school?" Silence. "Mark, are you being bullied?" She shook her head. "Mark, then what is it?" Nothing. Just those wide, guarded eyes. Eyes that used to trust him. Now they looked afraid. And that scared him more than anything. At night, Mark would stand outside her bedroom door, listening, making sure she was breathing normally, convincing himself he wasn't overthinking. But deep down, he knew this wasn't just teenage mood. This was fear, and he didn't know why. 3 days before the clinic visit, he heard something that made his blood run cold. A quiet sob from behind her locked bedroom door. And when he knocked, she wiped her tears quickly, opened the door halfway, and forced a smile. "I'm fine, Dad. I promise." But she was still holding her stomach, and she still wouldn't look him in the eyes. That was the moment he decided. No more waiting, no more guessing. He scheduled the clinic appointment. He thought he was walking into a routine checkup. He had no idea they were walking into something that would change everything. At first, Mark told himself it would pass. Teenage phases, mood swings, growing pains. But this didn't pass. It intensified. Monday morning, alarm ringing, backpack packed, but Lily didn't move. She stayed under the blanket, staring at the wall. "Mark, from hallway, bus comes in 20 minutes. No response. When he finally opened the door, she was sitting up, pale. "Lily, quietly, I don't feel good." Again. Third time that week. Mark sighed, not angry, just exhausted. He walked closer. She instinctively pulled the blanket tighter around herself. That small movement didn't go unnoticed. Over the next few days, he noticed something else. Lily stopped wearing her usual fitted jeans and bright sweaters. Instead, baggy hoodies, oversized jackets, even inside the house. One evening, Mark saw her quickly stuff something into her laundry basket when he knocked. A sweater 2 sizes too big. Why was she hiding under layers? What was she trying to cover? At dinner, he tried again. "Mark, gentle but firm. Lily, this isn't normal. Talk to me." Her fork froze midair. Her shoulders stiffened. Lily, suddenly sharp. "I said I'm fine." The outburst shocked both of them. She immediately looked guilty, but instead of apologizing, she pushed her chair back and went to her room. Door locked. Again. Mark sat alone at the table, confused, hurt. This wasn't rebellion. This was something else, and he could feel it. 2 days later, his phone rang at work. School nurse. His stomach dropped before he even answered. Nurse, concerned. "Mr. Harper, Lily's here again. She's complaining about abdominal pain, and she looks extremely fatigued." Fatigued. That word echoed in his mind. "Nurse, she almost fainted in class." Almost fainted. Mark didn't hesitate. He left work early. When he picked her up, she looked smaller somehow, fragile. And she was still holding her stomach. The drive home was silent. Mark gripped the steering wheel tighter than usual. "Mark, careful tone. Lily, this has been going on for weeks." Silence. He glanced over. She was staring out the window, eyes glossy, fearful, but not of him, of something else. That night, after she went to bed, Mark sat alone at the kitchen table, bills spread out, work schedule open, stress heavy on his face. But none of that mattered now. He picked up his phone, called the clinic. "Mark, firm, worried. I need the earliest appointment you have." He didn't care about overtime, didn't care about inconvenience. Something wasn't right, and he could feel it in his bones. The appointment was set for the next morning. Mark thought he was preparing for answers. He wasn't. He was preparing for a moment that would stop his heart. Because the next day, inside that clinic room, a routine ultrasound would turn into something no one was ready for. The clinic smelled like antiseptic and worry. Mark checked in at the front desk. Lily stood a few feet away, not beside him, not behind him, away. When he sat down in the waiting room and patted the chair next to him, she hesitated, then chose a seat across the room. Mark felt it like a quiet sting. A nurse called her name. They followed down a long hallway, white walls, fluorescent lights, echoing footsteps. Inside the exam room, Lily sat on the edge of the bed again, arms wrapped around herself. The doctor entered, observant, calm, but something shifted in her expression almost immediately. She noticed the distance between father and daughter, the tension, the way Lily avoided eye contact. Routine questions. Nurse, gentle. Any nausea? Lily nods slightly. Dizziness. A pause, then another nod. When did the pain begin? Silence. Lily's fingers tighten. "Doctor," softly. "It's okay. You can tell me." Lily glances at her dad, just for a second, then looks away. "A while ago." "How long is a while?" Another pause. "Months." Mark's head snaps up. "Months?" The doctor's expression grows serious. She writes something down, then looks at Mark. "I'd like to do an ultrasound, just to rule things out." "Just to rule things out." Mark nods quickly. Anything for answers. The music deepens. Lights dim. Machine hums to life. Gel bottle clicks. Lily flinches as the cold gel touches her stomach. Mark steps closer, but not too close. He doesn't know where he's allowed to stand anymore. The probe glides slowly. The screen flickers. Grainy shapes appear. The doctor watches carefully. Her movements slow. She adjusts the angle, zooms in. Silence. The room feels heavy. Doctor, without looking away. "How long has she been feeling this pain?" Mark swallows. "She said weeks. I didn't know it was months." The doctor presses slightly firmer. Her jaw tightens. On the screen, an unusual mass. Not normal. Not expected. The machine emits an uneven tone. The nurse shifts uneasily. The doctor lowers her voice, whispers, "Call radiology, now." Mark's chest tightens. "Doctor, what's wrong?" No answer. Only focused eyes on the screen and growing tension in the room. Music slows. Heavy, but not dramatic. Emotional. Radiology confirms it. The doctor steps back, removes the gloves slowly, faces them. There's compassion in her eyes, but also urgency. Doctor, carefully. "Lily has a rare abdominal tumor." Silence. Not aggressive, not spreading, but growing, slowly, quietly, for months. If this had gone undetected much longer, she doesn't finish the sentence. She doesn't need to. Mark feels the air leave his lungs. He looks at his daughter. Baggy clothes, avoidance, flinching. It wasn't rebellion. It was silent fear. Lily's eyes fill with tears, her voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't want you to think I was weak." That breaks him. Not the diagnosis, not the word tumor, but that sentence. Mark kneels beside the bed. For the first time in months, she doesn't pull away. "I was never disappointed in you," he says quietly. "I was scared because I didn't understand." She admits she searched her symptoms online, read worst-case scenarios, convinced herself she was dying, didn't want to burden him. The doctor gently explains, "The tumor is operable, treatment plan is clear, surgery scheduled immediately. Non-graphic, direct, hopeful." Cut to hospital hallway. Mark sits alone while Lily is prepped, head in hands, whispering a prayer. Not for answers, just for more time. Surgery successful. Doctor walks out with a tired smile. "She's going to be okay." Mark exhales like he's been holding his breath for months. He doesn't miss a single one. She doesn't lock her door anymore. They talk, really talk. The silence between them disappears. Sometimes strange behavior isn't rebellion. It's silent fear. Sometimes distance isn't anger. It's someone fighting alone. Listen before you judge. Ask twice. Hug once more. Because the people who push you away might be the ones who need you closest. What would you have done in the father's position? Have you ever misunderstood someone's silence? Comment below. And if you love emotional, powerful stories like this, subscribe for more true style storytelling every week.